Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the Tiny Brains podcast. I'm Kevin Joyce, CEO at Tiny Brains, and with me is Peter Graham, the Brigadier of Brains at Tiny Brains.
Hello, all.
So, what we do on this podcast every week is we run through the biggest stories in XR from the previous week, and we're going to jump straight in this week with something that's a bit interesting.
Yes, this came out of nowhere, really, because Sony hasn't made an official announcement, which you would have thought they would have done. Yes, doing the rounds last week was the fact that PSVR2 was shown to have hand tracking. And this wasn't some rumor that, some news site came up with. This was shown on the Sony booth at SIGGRAPH Asia. So it's there. It's technically available. They were demoing PSVR2 hand tracking, and nobody knew about it apart from this one little booth.
And there's video footage out there in the wild, so you can go and find it. I'm not sure if people put some on this video, but yeah, this is interesting because most of this year we have been discussing the fact that Sony look like they've pretty much abandoned PSVR 2, but then out of the blue comes this brand new software-based addition to the headset, and it's like,
Yeah, you're quite right. It's come out of the blue, and it just seems to be a software-based addition that Sony have added, and PSVR2 has needed for quite a while because all the rivals, Meta Quest, Pico, and the rest of them, have all got hand tracking. So it means that developers can now, if they've got games on PSVR2, they could potentially add it or port their games over to PSVR2. There was a couple of interesting bits on the booth as well. Uh, there were details like it says it had 12 types of gesture detection, and that it claimed that it runs at 60 frames per second with low latency. But the most interesting bit was the fact that it said it's available with the latest SDK for PlayStation 5, which suggests that developers can already access the hand tracking on PSVR 2.
yeah, this was surprising to me because yeah, Sony have not made any fuss, any announcement about this, and this is a big deal. Could it possibly be that they just don't have anyone on the team anymore that knows enough about VR to like in their PR team to realize what this means? Um, Whether or not any developers actually decide to use it and bring it to consumers, we'll have to wait and see. But from our perspective, this is a really interesting addition that yeah, Sony should have put some weight behind. It's great news potentially. So moving on, we've got some AR-ish news to go with VR. Samsung are doing things in the XR spectrum once again. They've dipped their toes before with some pretty good headsets, and now they've got some different things.
Wow, this is an ongoing thing with Samsung and their smart glasses. So was it, I think it was the beginning of last year, around sort of CES time, they announced alongside Google and Qualcomm that they were creating an XR platform, and they were going to re reveal more details by the end of 2024. Well, we've not really heard that much since. Now the reports suggest that at Unpacked in sort of late, I think it's late January, they usually have an Unpacked, they're going to reveal some smart glasses. And yeah, that could be quite exciting. And they are rumored to be showing these smart glasses in an actual physical form at Unpacked as well, which would be quite good.
So my big predictions, which are currently all over the internet for 2025, is a push for AR. To get something like this early in January, my feelings on this are they're going to be pretty basic, an entry level device, but still that is needed. We do need a consumer grade, entry level consumer grade AR for AR to explode in the way we all hope it will. So yeah, it'd be a good way to start off 2025.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're going to announce it in January. Supposedly, again, this is all rumor, so take everything with a massive pinch of salt. They're going to launch in maybe Q3 2025. They're going to be around about 50 grams, so under that 100-gram sweet spot that a lot of companies are trying to get under. And yes, they're going to have some basic features. What's going to be telling is whether they are actually smart glasses like the Meta Ray-Ban ones, or whether, as we've said before, whether they're going to go into AR and actually have stuff that's in your field of view.
So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one because hopefully that'll be a good push. But sticking with the theme, Xreal, they're doing stuff as well.
Yeah, people that are doing well, AR is Xreal. They've been doing it for many years, and they have announced the Xreal One and the Xreal One Pro. So it's their latest glasses. And the big thing with these guys is that they're using they have developed a new X1 chip specifically for these glasses. Previously, they've connected to smartphones and they've used Qualcomm processors and things like that. Now they've been developing their new chip, the X1, for the last couple of years, and these are the first devices that will use them. So they're on pre-order now, and you can, if you love AR, you can dive in by the end of the year. Really,
So I do like Xreal. I do like their products. They're not daily drivers, not something I use every single day. But as I say, consumer grade AR is important, and they've put out some good sets, glasses. What are we calling them? They're not headsets, right? But they put out some good devices. And so yeah, I'm keen to see more from Xreal. And I expect more again from them in the latter half of 2025. It's going to be a continuous stream of hardware and opportunities coming from Xreal. So yeah, good luck to them.
well, that's a good question, Kevin. What is the industry going to call these type of glasses? Because they've said smart glasses, but they're not AR glasses. And are they AR glasses? So what's going to be the new terminology? What's going to be the new definition? Is Apple going to have to do something to for their
Yes, it's just
marketing?
like Apple trying to coin the phrase spatial computing, which actually has existed for a long time already. And yeah, I mean, if it's AR, surely it's just still a HMD, right? Head-mounted display, you know.
Technically, well, then you're arguing over little things here, aren't you? The little. But anyway, let's just say one more thing about the Xreal One and Pro. So the Xreal One is on pre-order now for $500, or the Pro is on pre-order now for $600, and the Pro will come out next year. The One is coming out, well, shipping this December. And the other nice little nugget is they're both going to feature 3DoF tracking, which all their previous headsets don't.
And Xreal, if you're watching this, my Christmas stocking is hanging up now, so come on over. Moving on, Meta are doing stuff. Meta are doing stuff with a guy who really likes tech.
Yeah, yeah. If you want more blue people and people hanging on the edge of boats,
Smurfs. I want more Smurfs.
you want more Smurfs. Well, if you want like 7, 8 foot tall Smurfs, then this is the guy to do it with. Yeah, Meta have announced a new partnership with James Cameron, or more specifically, his Lightstorm Vision company. So these are the guys that quite famously pioneered a lot of 3D back in 20 odd, what was it, Avatar, like 20 odd years ago?
Stereoscopic 3D.
Stereoscopic 3D. Thank you very much. So yes, they've announced a new partnership to bring high quality stereoscopic 3D to MetaQuest in a multi-year partnership. So there's not many details at the moment. It's very early days, but this is James Cameron, so we could expect maybe some action-packed stuff coming to the headset.
With 7 foot Smurfs in it. Now, personally, I feel like this is probably going to be going back to the days of when Sony Pictures launched Spider-Man VR experiences to promote Spider-Man movies and so on. I personally think this is going to be a VR tie-in for Avatar 3, maybe something along those lines.
Well, the announcement has said it's going to span live sports, concerts, feature films, and TV series. So I would say a good shout would be Avatar 3 and some other stuff as well.
Okay, well, I'm keen to see it. James Cameron to me is he's a director that has done some really high quality stuff and some pretty poor stuff, and not much in between. So I'm keen for more of that higher end stuff. Let's see what you can do, man.
I think he's got the potential, hasn't he? He can get some high quality stuff out there. Just please make it good for VR.
So wrapping up this week with gaming news, as we always do, is something that is good for VR. Big deal. Big deal.
Skydance's Behemoth launched last week, and there has been a little reported hiccup along the way, but from all the early reviews, which did come quite late, the Behemoth is a stellar game. The hiccup that I mention is the fact that it was announced a couple of days before the launch that there would be day one patches for the PSVR2 version and then day seven patches for the Quest version. So the day seven patch hasn't yet arrived for the Quest version as this goes live.
So the reports that we've seen are generally that the patches are fixes. It's not any significant change to the game or anything. There have been some issues with frame rate drops and things like that, and these patches are designed to fix those stability more than anything else. But generally speaking, the game does seem to be popular, does seem to be a hit. So we've waited an infinite amount of years for this game to arrive, and hoping that it was going to be on good form, and it seems to have cracked it. So well done, Skydance.
Yeah, and hopefully this is the second of three big IPs or big games launching this festive season. So we had Metro, that did very well. Behemoth, that's done seemingly quite well. And then the last one is Alien, which comes out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, I believe.
I like the way that you say three big releases, ignoring the world's greatest detective there. There was four. There was four big IP. But that's all we've got time for this week. So if you yourself out there have any news stories that you'd like to see discussed on this show, please feel free to reach out to us on any of the many channels you can contact us. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you for watching.